Hey everyone, as always, Dylan Miller Prospecting, and welcome to another Tuesday Night Gold Painting Fever episode number 205. Let me catch up on chat real quick. Excuse the speech, the talking. Still sick. Cockatoo Birdman, thank you for joining the show. Appreciate it. A3 Rich, don't worry about it. If you got to work, you got to work. Dorothy Richardson, thank you for being here. I appreciate it. Stephen LeBlanc, thank you for being here. Dina Littlehale, thank you for being here as always. Brad Thompson, what's up, brother? Joey Brown, thank you for joining the show. Appreciate it. Mentally Corrupted. Who else we got here? Michael Reed, and I'm sure the other Reed is here as well. Richard Dow, Jason G, how's it going? Weezen, Donna, thank you both for being here and being mods. I really appreciate it. Nightbot, thank you for being here. I appreciate it as always as well. Good day or good night to all. Cockatoo Birdman. Shane Prothero, how's it going? Thanks for joining the show. Those left behind, how are you doing, my man? Casey Sring, how are you? Kristen Reed, there you are. I'm glad to hear you're finally moved in. Moving is the worst. I don't plan on having to move anytime soon. is the least fun thing to do is moving, unless you're just moving your own physical body. If you got to start moving furniture and stuff, no. Leave me out. What else we got? Wait, hold on. All right. My YouTube is way behind. So, all right. I think that's Brian. Thank you for joining the show. S-Rip, Rocky Mountain Prospector. How's it going, Brad? Whiskey Lover, how are you, my man? Liz, how are you? See, I'm wearing your shirt, Liz. So I changed my shirt. David Carlisle, thanks for joining the show. Jeff Boge, thank you for joining the show. Appreciate it. Who's grabbing a drink? All right. So, and how are you, Donna? How are you feeling? Hopefully you're feeling well. Yeah, Oregon would be better than Cali. I was never a fan of Cali too much. But all right, let me pop out chat so I can go look at my ugly mug. Since y'all have to look at it, I might as well look at it. There we go. There we go. And there we go. So so today we're going to be panning out some Vendetta Prospecting Paydirt. He is back in stock. He was out of stock for about a week, I think. Probably a week. Unfortunately, he did raise his price. I guess when you have to do stuff on your website, you see that you're underpriced, and he has raised his prices a little bit. But I do love me some Mike Vendetta Paydirt, so we're going to be going through some. He sent me this. I guess it's a 2024. It was some Patreon Mexico beach Paydirt. So, yeah, it's definitely like beach sands. So, but he sent me 2 bags. One said none and one said some. We went through the none bag and it had none. It had no gold in it. And then now we got the some. So this one he did add a little bit of gold too. I don't think there's probably much in there, 1/4 gram maybe, but it's free. So not gonna complain. What we gonna do? So Chasing Cheddar, thank you for joining the show. Appreciate it. Refotris, what's up? How's it going? Lucky Brad. Oh, Brad's been winning. So yeah, but we're going to be going through some Vendetta Prospecting, getting some of that free gold, because gold's up to $4,159 an ounce, or what does that equal to in grams? I don't know. I cannot get my Google Chrome to open. All right, so we're going to play a nice little game. There we go. What is gold price? Gold price is $4,158.20. $133.69 a gram. It's crazy. I know I was telling some people on my Patreon that I think it's going to hit 5,000 by the end of the year. I still do. I think it's actually going to hit sooner. Monday it was up $100. Tuesday it's up another $50. $50 a day means 19 days. So in 19 days, at this current rate, in 19 days we would hit $5 grand. I don't think it'll go like that, but you never know. Some people seem to think that they're going to adjust the price and it's going to drop 5-10%, but to get rid of all these small buyers, but I don't think so. I don't think anytime soon. I think they'll wait till it hits $5 grand, and when it hits $5 grand, that's going to be way too pricey. So then they're going to do the all right, hold on. Why is my computer freaking out? Yeah. All right. We'll close that. Yeah. So I don't think they're going to do it till $5,000. When they get $5,000, they'll reprice it to get rid of all the small time buyers. So almost up 100% year over year. Yeah. And how's it going, John? Thank you for joining the show. Alan Curie, what's up? Thank you for joining the show. Alexander, thank you for joining the show. Appreciate it. I don't want to be rude. We can go down. Yeah, I mean, I'm not a huge fan of gold going up. It's just what it is. Now I'm just enjoying the novelty of watching gold go up. I've said it a couple times. I've talked to Mike about it. The higher gold goes up, the worse it is for this community, Paydirt wise. It's better for the part of the community that goes out gold prospecting, but most of the people that I know a lot of people that are in this community are actually out there prospecting, but the ones that watch my channel and support me on Patreon buy Paydirt. And Paydirt is going to get itself essentially eliminated from being, like you said, someone's going to have to spend $250 on a bag of Paydirt with, one flake in it, Golden Paydirt can keep his same price and he'll be competitive at that point. So, because he's probably got 5,000 bags of Paydirt sitting on a shelf somewhere, and he doesn't have to raise his price for the next, until it goes past $10,000, So, I mean, I always said I thought 75 was the perfect price for Paydirt for a 1 gram, and we're almost double that. So, I'm not a huge fan of it, but, like I said, just enjoying the novelty of watching it skyrocket up, I knew it was going to jump up because Sunday I did sell some gold. So I knew it was going to jump up. I didn't expect that, my little piece of nuggets would get it to go up $150 an ounce, but I guess so. So I will try not to sell any more pickers anymore. What did I sell? Like 20 pickers or something? I don't even think. I think it was 12 pickers. My 12 pickers destroyed the market. Stephen Curry, how's it going? My next bag for the year will most likely be 0.25 or 0.5. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Did Mike release his video yet? Let me see. Let's see. Did Mike? Yeah, he did a sneak peek. Oh, I haven't watched it yet. I'll have to watch that. Oh, I do see he did a swimming pool of gold, because I always joke with him that he must have a swimming pool of gold. Now I really want to watch that. I'm sad I haven't seen it yet. But yeah, I've been talking to Mike a lot about it, and I know Mike is switching his Paydirts up. I'm sure if you watch the video, he might say it in the video. But yeah, Mike from Gold Nugget Sales, his new average bag will be a 0.5 gram bag of Paydirt. He's going to sell 0.5 gram bags, 2 gram bags, and 3 gram bags. Then I'm sure he'll still have the 1 ounce and things like that. But yeah, 1 grammers are out, it's just too much. Gold does not go up, US dollars go down. Yeah. Well, all fiat, the problem is all fiat currencies are down. All fiat currencies are going down, and that's why gold is going up, because people don't want to buy fiat currency debt anymore. The interest that they make off of fiat currency is too big of a risk for them to keep doing it. So the new gold vlog is awesome. Okay, I got to watch it. Someone said something to me the other day. I was talking to somebody, I think Ed, and he mentioned the new video, but he said from Mike, and I thought it was Vendetta Mike, and I just didn't even click in my head, because I knew Mike from Golden Nugget Sales was putting out a video. I've talked to him about it. So, Teo, how's it going? I am Zaxxon. Thank you for joining the show. So yeah, I wanted to see his new shop, and I also want to see the new Paydirt. So got a package today. To my surprise, it was a gold-plated dime. Oh man, that sucks, doesn't it? Did you bite it? You don't know until you bite it. You got to bite hard enough that you chip a tooth. All the gold I bought over 2 years make it even with all the post fees. Yeah, gold is going up so fast that it's just, you really can't lose until it drops. And even if they adjust the price, so the average time whenever they change the price and they adjust the price and, whatever they want to call it, it only goes down on average 5 to 15%. So as of right now, it's going to probably hit 4,500 before they even adjust it, if even then. Then it'll be down to 4,000. So even if they adjust it, like even if they adjust it right now, it would be at 3,800. It's still 3,800. So it's not going to make some drastic drop. Too many countries are buying gold. They're buying billions of dollars of gold. It's just crazy. And the more gold they buy, the more that has to be mined up. And, there's only so much they can get. So what's up, Ortiz? Thank you for joining the show. Appreciate it. Yes, I do have your hot sauce on the shelf. I wish. So when they came in, I wrote on them because I was like, oh, I need to remember which one's which. And then I thought, oh, man, I need to put one on the shelf. And I was like, oh, I shouldn't have wrote on it. But yeah, I do have it on the shelf. I can't go through hot sauce that fast, so I figured I might as well put it on the shelf. But thanks again for sending me those. You can bite through that lamination. It's like, use your little canine teeth, Just hope silver stays. I think silver is going to drop way before gold does, because silver typically does that. Silver, I don't follow silver as much as I do gold, obviously. But silver does have a hot habit of following gold and then just dropping. Then gold will spike again, and silver will go up some and drop. The peaks and valleys of silver are a lot more active than gold. So, yeah, I mean, I don't have much silver. I think I have like 10 ounces, something like 10 or 12 ounces of silver for my kids, or just bars I get made for me. Cajun Bullion has made me a couple bars, which, by the way, I am going to either be doing something. I got 2 Miller Prospecting silver bars. I haven't decided what I'm going to do with them. I might put them up as a Patreon prize for the next wheel or something. I don't know. But I did get 2 Miller Prospecting bars made that are going to be for some type of Patreon contest or contest. Yeah, because we don't do giveaways. So, but yeah. So then other than that, I think I have some silver bars for my kids, but it's like 10 ounces. So, 50 to 40 isn't really that much. So I'm really surprised silver has stayed at around 50 for as long as it has. So at this rate, I'm going to sell copper Paydirt. Yeah. To be honest though, if you were here 9 years ago when I first started this channel, like I tell people this all the time, and even Mike from Gold Nugget Sales just still says he gets flabbergasted that it's true. But when I first started buying Paydirt, the average bag of Paydirt was a 1/4 gram. When Tom's Gold came out, when what's the other company's name? Jimbo's Gold. When Jimbo's Gold was around, all these smaller companies, when they first came out, when people were selling Paydirt, they would sell an 1/8 gram, a 1/4 gram, a 1/2 gram, and then some had 1 gram. So there wasn't even that many. Like most of them didn't even sell 1 gram bags of Paydirt. And this is when gold was $40, $40 a gram. You couldn't even get, most sellers didn't even have 1 gram bags of Paydirt. The average seller was selling 1/4 grams. And then if you were a big spender, you'd get a 1/2 gram, and you might go to another seller and get a 1 gram. And it's just going to go back to that. It's just going to go back to 1/8 gram bags of Paydirt, and the ROIs are just going to go down. That's going to be the problem, is when you start getting, the thing that used to be fun was you used to get 3 pounds of material, you'd pan it out, you get a 1/4 gram of gold. And to go back to that, with shipping is going to be about $12.50. And right now, what is a 1/4 gram of gold? What it's at, 104, 130 is 65, so 32. So yeah, you're going to be paying $50. $50, you're going to get a 60% ROI. So I think ROIs are going to go down. We've been living kind of nicely with these ROIs that are averaging 80 and 90%. But I think ROI is going to go down because the average Paydirt is going to be much worse. It's going to be 1/4 grams, 1/8 grams. But then we'll just have to wait. We'll just have to wait until the economy comes back or something happens. But I don't know. I still, if I don't mind, like, see, I'm not a huge fan of smaller bags now, 1/4 grams and 1/8 grams, if they're only like 12-ounce packages, because then you're losing. You're not getting gold and you're not getting Paydirt. But if we go back to 1/4 grams and 1/2 gram bags of Paydirt and you get 3 pounds, then it's worth it. I'll go back to 60%, 70% ROIs. Like if you look at my old shows, I used to even say that all the time. I thought 70% was a great ROI. Now it's 80, 85%. So we might go back to 70%, I think. But all right, I've been talking a lot. It's already 6:16. We're gonna do some panning. What are we panning today? Vendetta, some. So this might be that quarter grammer. I didn't weigh it up. Let me weigh it up and see how much is in here. It feels like 3 pounds. 2 pounds, 9 ounces. So it's pretty close to 3 pounds. 2.5 pounds of material we're going to go through tonight. And I was guessing earlier in the video, if you missed it, since this was a free bag that Vendetta donated to the channel, I think it's probably going to have about a quarter gram of gold in there. So this is what's going to be in the future. Quarter gram bags of Paydirt, 3 pounds, let's say. PA Patriot, what's up, brother? Thanks for joining the show. I am Saxon. I don't know. It was competition. That's why they did it. So Lynch Mining started it, because before Lynch Mining, most sellers had about a 70% ROI. Like the good sellers, like Tom's Gold Dirt, and all these sellers were about 70% ROIs. And Lynch Mining was smart. I mean, I talked to Lynch about it. He told me when he first opened, he planned on making zero money. He was putting out 100% ROIs. So what he was doing was he was averaging his ROIs from either 90%, 100 to 110%. So in the end, the average was 100%, and he was going to lose money. And he had a set bank account. I don't remember the number he told me, like something like $10,000. That he had $10,000 worth of Paydirt to sell. And then after that, he would start lowering the ROIs once he got everyone hooked on his Paydirt, which is exactly what happened. When he did he lowered his ROIs right before his first Black Friday sale. And he lowered his ROIs, opened up a Black Friday sale, and just blew out. He sold more Paydirt that one day than he had the previous year. So, and then after that, though, the ROIs were jumped up. People started expecting 80%. And so sellers started going around to compete, And it's hard. Like if I was to open up a Paydirt right now, I wouldn't do it, because I'd see, I got to compete against Vendetta and Bear Prospecting and Brad's and all these other sellers that are giving you 90% ROIs. GNS, it's not worth it. But until something happens like gold going up, that's what's going to happen. Is gold will go up, then the ROIs will go down. So, Crash, what's up? Thank you for joining the show. And anyone, if I missed you, thank you for joining the show. I really do appreciate everyone who's joined the show, or if you're just lurking in the background and watching and not typing in chat, I still appreciate you very much. Lynch did lower his ROI down to 0 eventually, but that was not, I don't think that was his original plan, but you never know. I have had some rumbles. I was talking to somebody the other day, and they think one of these, there is a new company that came out. I just did a review on them. What was it? Lucky something, or Bobby Nugget. That I was talking to somebody, and they were going through, because Bobby Nugget is out of California. And if you look at his Paydirt, his descriptions and all this is well thought out. Like, this is not somebody that just, like, if you see anybody, and I'm not to throw anyone or say anything negative about anyone, but a lot of the new sellers, if you look at their sites when they first come out, they have bad pictures and bad descriptions, and it's just, they're just trying to open up and start selling and making money. And you look at this new seller, Bobby Nugget, he comes out and he's got, the ROIs aren't horrible. They're on Amazon, they're not horrible. On his website, they're not the best, but he's got the potential, you can see. And he's very like, it's almost as if he's sold Paydirt before. That's all I'm going to say. And I was talking to somebody else, and he's out of California, and they were trying to research to see if Lynch had anything to do with it. I don't personally think he did. I think Lynch is going back to being a chef or something, but Mad Hatter, how's it going? Oh yeah, well, we're gonna start panning here. Let me start talking. Jonathan Brewer, can't type. Well, I appreciate that. Yeah, you don't want to be typing with chicken fingers. But all right, let's go start panning. We got some beach sand, some Mexican beach sands from Vendetta. This is from his 2024 Patreon. So this has been on my shelf for probably a year. It's about time we got that gold out of it. It's a guaranteed 100% ROI, because I didn't pay for this, and gold is crazy. But all right, let's shrink down the ugly mug. Let's see, is everything working? Yeah, there you go. Get rid of that. Okay. So yeah, we'll put some gloves on, get everything set up. So give me 1 second in chat. Cajun Bullion, what's up, brother? Thank you for being here. All right, we'll put some gloves on. Let me get my chat open on my tablet, which I forgot to charge, so hopefully it doesn't die. But I've never panned out any of this Mexican Paydirt, I don't think. Mexican beach Paydirt. All right, there we go. Got chat open. All right, there we go. Put some gloves on. All right, A3, you have a good one, brother. Yeah, Metal, did you sell out already? What was it, last show you said you had a couple bags left, I think? Oh, this got some big old rocks in it. Definitely gonna pull those out. All right. That's it. All gone? All right. That's good news. We're going to start out small. Doesn't look like there's anything magnetic or anything in here. Some big rocks, but seashell. But since I don't know what size the gold is, we're going to start out kind of slow. Jeffrey Button, how's it going? Thanks for joining the show. And thank you, everyone, again, for joining the show. Always appreciate it. You need a taco to pan. I haven't had tacos in a while, speaking of tacos. I used to make them for my kids all the time, but we haven't made them. Now that my daughter's not here, opening a package of taco shells is, for 2 people, it's been worth it. I have to make some soft tacos, maybe. Maybe I'll do that next week. And I don't have my son next week. Speaking of, after I finish this pan, I need to text my son. See what he wants for dinner. Hey, Gregory, how's it going? You made it here early. Usually you're here in the last 30 minutes. Gregory getting here early. All right. Oh, there's one little piece. So yeah, some smaller gold. 2 little pieces. So 2 little tiny pieces. I don't know if y'all can see them right there and there. So yeah, we have to pan this a little bit slower, I guess. And there's no black sand, so I can get it down pretty good. Taco Bell makes taco. Yeah, that's a good idea. I might have to remember that. So just because, like, if you buy taco shells, there's 12, and they don't last. Once you open them, they just do not last. Like, you can put them in a Ziploc bag or anything, and they still go stale by the time, a month later when you open them. And I don't want to pay $3 for, 4 taco shells. All right. So I'm just throwing the rocks. There's nothing special about these rocks, so he just threw them in there to aggravate me, probably. Yeah. But yeah, in case you didn't know, Vendetta has been out of stock for a while. He is back in stock. He's got his 1 grams, 1.5 grams, and his 5 grams. Great seller. If you didn't notice, I always have a couple of them on my shelf. And most of the Paydirts on my shelf are not current sellers. They are sold out sellers or private sellers, people in the community. Really, the only people I keep on the shelf are Vendetta Prospecting and Gold Nugget Sales, just because they are the two best companies out there for selling Paydirt. So, no, Chris, I have not talked about Clash's crappy bucket. I had actually forgot about Clash's crappy bucket. I still have not posted. I did write a math formula so I could post it on his comments, and I'm hoping a whole bunch of people from my channel. So, if you haven't already seen it, Clash posted a $50,000 bucket, which he seems to think is the biggest bucket ever sold, even though a month ago, Pioneer Poly panned out a $100,000 bucket from Brian Thomas Gold. So Clash is obviously not paying attention to what other sellers are doing or anybody besides himself. But yeah, he has a $50,000 bucket with an 80% ROI, which is just amazing that he would post that and think that it's a good thing. But I read a lot of the comments, and a lot of people in his community, think it is a good idea. So I don't understand that, why you'd be willing to give somebody 50 grand so they can make $10,000 profit. I mean, $10,000 profit, and not even that. So I'm gonna do the math. I have it upstairs on my on a document so I can post the math for it. But let me see. Yeah, so Clash is only paying about $30,000 for that $40,000 worth of gold that then he is selling for $50,000. So he is and he's probably paying less than that. The last couple people I know that have tried to sell Clash gold, he's only been paying 72%. So what is 72% of 40,000? 40,000 times 72% is 28,800. So that means if he sells you a $50,000 bucket, he is making $21,000 profit. That is absolutely crazy. You could go to a decent seller, like a decent seller that has an 85% ROI, and just buy, 50,000 1-gram bags from them. It's just, I don't understand. Yeah, the more you spend with Clash, no, I mean, that is his highest ROI, because I keep track of all Clash's ROIs for my daily ROI sheet on Patreon. And his highest ROI right now is 69% something. It might have hit 70% today. Is his 1-gram bag. So it is his highest ROI at 80%, but it's just ridiculous that he would advertise, and tell you you're going to lose $10,000. And like somehow that's a good deal, And what's worse though is he's probably going to sell them. I mean, if you read through his comments, I did see in his comments, he said he sold 3 of them. There's no way he sold 3 of them already. There's just no way. I mean, he only posted the custom buckets, I think at the beginning of the month. Because he advertised them, and I was waiting for him to post them, and he posted them, I believe it was the first of the month, he started putting the buckets up there. And there's no way he sold 3 of them in, 14 days. If he did, we'll know, though, because he'll be showing some major, improvements to his house or his new truck or something. Yeah, it's just ridiculous. I figured his buckets would be bad, but I didn't think they would be that bad. I really didn't think they were going to be that bad. No, Clash has never been a good Paydirt. Clash has never been a good Paydirt. I've kept track of him since he's opened. He has never had an over 70% ROI. And look, I will say this. Anyone is allowed to sell Paydirt any which way they want. There's nothing that says you have to give an 80% ROI or 85 or 90. It's not a horrible ROI. If you look at his videos, he did spend like $20,000 with Felix and got a 50% ROI or 60% ROI. So there are bad Paydirts out there that will sell you. So he's got a better ROI than some Paydirts. His ROI is better than Felix, and maybe that's what he's banking on, that people that buy Felix Paydirt will buy his Paydirt. But the way I look at things is Clash makes all of his money off of YouTube. His girlfriend is if you look up who owns Clash Gold, the trademark, it's his girlfriend. It's not Clash. So I think the Paydirt is her business, and he just advertises it and talks about it, and she doesn't want to be on the camera. So I think the way they run their partnership or their marriage or is she runs the Paydirt and he runs the YouTube channel. So, you know, this is her income stream and she wants to have a 80% ROI, That's a cool show. But I mean, it's not a horrible ROI. I mean, you would have to be pretty like new to Paydirt to spend that kind of money and get an 80% ROI when there's so many better sellers out there. I mean, because if you spent here, I'm gonna go look it up real quick. Let's see. So if you had $50,000 and you just went to gold nugget sales, you could buy divided by 4,100. You could buy 12 of his extra mile jugs, and you'd still have some money left over. But if you bought 12 of those, you'd get 33.3 grams. You'd get 400 grams of gold. So 400 times 33. Yeah, you'd get 50. So if you spent, let me figure it out. So what did I say? 12. So 12 times 4,100 equals. So yeah, if you spent $49,000, so you save 800, you save $1,000. If you spend $49,000 over at Gold Nugget sales buying his 1 ounce jug, you'd get $53,000 worth of gold. So I mean, you would gain money. You would make $3,000 by going to Gold Nugget sales, or you could go to Clash and lose 10,000. It's just crazy. Right. If everyone wants to donate to my channel, I will start a GoFundMe and I will buy one of his $50,000 and review it. So, because as much as I love buying Paydirt from Clash with my secret shoppers and giving him reviews that he deserves, I can't afford 50,000. So, but if anyone wants to donate to my channel, I'm more than willing to take donations for 50,000 to buy one of Clash's. I will even give away all the gold. So. Is there a hidden link? Yeah, you just have to be nice to one of my mods and ask. Sweet. But yeah, if my mods want to drop the hidden link when you can, thank you. I appreciate it. Then yeah, today we're going to we have the Wheel of Treasures up tonight. Clash I bought for convenience on Amazon to avoid shipping costs lower the ROI even further for me. Yeah. I mean, he's not like I said, he's not the worst Paydirt. He's like the middle. And that's what Clash does. He only reviews really, really bad Paydyrts, like Golden Paydirt. If you can go through all his reviews, they're all trash. He looks for trash companies that are selling you 20% ROI bags of Paydirt. And then he puts out a 50% Paydirt and tells you it's good. And it is. It's a good Paydirt compared to a 20%. Is it good next to Gold Nugget sales? No. But Brad, yeah, in case you don't know, and you go to bradsbucket.com, he is running a charity raffle. It's $2 a ticket, which, by the way, Brad, if you text me after the show, remind me to buy some tickets. So I have a couple extra bucks. I can buy some tickets. So send me a text after the show and remind me to buy some raffle tickets. I only got one, the raw bag. Yeah. Yeah. But yeah, we're doing the wheel tonight. The best prize you can get on the wheel tonight. So there's 50 spots tonight. We're going to pull one name at the end of the show. One person will get one spin on the wheel. You can either win prizes from copper rounds, which is a big one, but the best prize is a half ounce silver round or hexagon from Cajun Bullion. So best prize tonight. So wheel of all kinds of things you can win on there, from coins, silver quarters, silver dimes, things like that. So that's a lot of lettuce for buckets of dirt. Yeah. And Wednesday. Lindsay, thank you for joining the show. I appreciate it. I mean, they have people out there. I mean, I know some people that have bought, back in the day, it's only recently that people have started really selling $20,000 buckets and more than 10. But I know someone that used to once a year buy a $10,000 bucket off of Felix Paydirt, and he only averaged, I think he told me, well, he would average a 50% ROI. That's what his average was, but there were some big nuggets in there. So you would spend that money and you get some big nuggets, and if you factored in the extra, it'd probably end up being about a 60% ROI. And that's what Clash is shooting for. He's trying to find the people that buy those 60% ROI buckets, and he's going to give them an 80%. It's not horrible. It's just for that amount of money, you would have to be crazy. That's like if you're going to buy a $50,000 car and they have one that's got 3 wheels and one's missing a wheel and it's going to drag on the ground, or you could get one with 4 wheels. There's going to be the people that just don't pay attention and are going to get that car and be like, oh man, I got this wheel dragging on the ground. We're getting a little bit of gold here. Donna, thank you so much, Donna. I appreciate it. Yeah. I don't think I've ever done one of Clash's 1 gram bags. I know originally I had, because I keep track, I write little sticky notes all the time of like reviews I want to do. And I know I was going to do a Paydirt battle of all of Clash's Paydirts at one point. But then gold kind of jumped up past like $80 a gram or something. The ROIs are just so bad. It was just like throwing money away. Because I think at the time you could buy all his Paydirts and it was like 500 or $600, something like that. And it would have been thrown away like $300. And I was like, there's better Paydirts I'd rather review. I buy more broken cars than running ones. Yeah. Yeah, that's what Clash has got the broken down. He's got the Jeep bucket. Paydirt. It is. This is Mexican beach sands. It's from Vendetta Prospecting. It was one of his Patreon bags of Paydirt. Oh, that's a bigger piece. So, a little picker here. Like I said, I thought this bag would have about a 1/4 gram in it. It still might. Or maybe it has a little bit more. Who knows? Yeah, that's why I said that. Nobody who buys, works on cars likes Jeeps. Only certain people like Jeeps. Yeah, my car is getting that way. I got a 2007. I need to bring it in the shop next week. Get the little maintenance done that I know needs done. Then I need to figure out a bigger issue that looks like it's coming up. And, I'm hoping it's an issue that I can fix after they tell me what's wrong with it. And I'm hoping it's not a fix that they're going to have to keep it. So, got a better ROI from you? Yeah. Well, I appreciate that. I don't sell Paydirt, so it depends on which one. If it's my Patreon Paydirt, the ROIs aren't very good on my Patreon Paydirt. If you buy a bag of Paydirt from me, I do sell Paydirt every once in a while on Patreon. They're always at least a 90% ROI, and in most cases, 100%. Because when I sell Paydirt, what I do is somebody will offer me, like somebody say, hey, I want to sell an ounce of gold. I can't afford to buy an ounce of gold. I just can't do it. As much as I'd love to buy an ounce of gold and sit it on my shelf or put it in a jar and stare at it and think pretty thoughts. It's too much money for me. But then what I'll do is if it's somebody I know and I know they're hurting and need some money, I'll buy it and then I'll sell Paydirt. And I'll sell it at 100% ROI and just I'll make the little bit of money because I gave them 90%, for it, or 85%. So, I'll make $200 or $300 for doing it, but it's mostly just to move money for somebody, and not that kind of money, IRS. We're not trying to move that kind of money, no. I said Patreon, a Patreon bag, yeah. I mean, I try to, it just depends on the month for Patreon, because like I said, if the way the Patreon works is I give a budget, it's $50 for the Patreon bag for gold, and then plus $5 for shipping and stuff like that. And then, or it's $54 as a total, then $20 goes towards or $24 goes toward the Patreon prizes and stuff, the monthly contests, because you're essentially a $25 member with, a bag of Paydirt. And it just depends on if I buy gold or not. Because if I buy if I buy, like 5 Paydirts to review during a month, and that's the gold I have to use, then it's harder for me to put a good bit of gold in there just because, I paid $150 for 1 gram of gold. But I try to put as much as I can in there. And still actually, I can't, because if it was up to me, if being nice, I would like to put $80 worth of gold in every $79 tier member's bag of Paydirt, but then, I'd be losing money and I'd be going bankrupt pretty quick. So you're welcome, Ortiz. So yeah. But yeah, and it's a shame that, that's Clash used to have a Patreon too, and he just kind of got away from the Patreon and just started selling Paydirt instead, and he realized he could make more money just selling semi-decent Paydirt. So, Charles King, what's up, brother? Thank you for joining the show. And again, anyone can sell Paydirt, anything, as long as I have no problem. Like, see, I wouldn't even have a problem with gold and Paydirt because there's nothing that says you have to give a good ROI. The only reason I don't like sellers like gold and Paydirt is because they put a dream in there. Like if he just said, hey, this is a bag of Paydirt, you're going to find some gold, nothing else. I would never complain about gold and Paydirt except for that his ROI sucks. And it's just what it is. It would be a fact and not, a personal issue I have with them. But my personal issue with him is I don't like the way he advertises, where he does the, you could win an ounce of gold and there's no way you're going to win an ounce of gold. And, this is the nugget bag, and it's just false advertising. So I don't like companies who advertise falsely and say you could do stuff and say there's bonus bags and stuff like that, And I think Gold and Paydirt is one of those scummy companies. And other people, and sadly other companies, follow him and see that, he's making money selling dreams, not Paydirt. Chasing Cheddar. There you go, brother. Thank you for helping him out. What's up, Joey? Congratulations, brother. Happy birthday. What are you like? 32 now? Golden sucks. Yeah, Golden does suck. I mean, they suck, but, like I said, it's the same thing. You can go to a hamburger place that sells, $5 burgers. You could go to a hamburger place that sells $100 burgers. They might both be the same burger, too. It's just, there's nothing that says somebody has to sell Paydirt with a specific ROI. But it's just how they promote it, like when you go to eBay, the joke is, and I say it all the time, eBay nuggets, where somebody will tell you, like, oh, this bag is full of nuggets, best nugget Paydirt on eBay, and then it's all gold, like, let me see if I can pick this up. Yeah, it's like that. Just a little bitty speck here is what they consider a nugget, and you're just like, okay, I just bought this Paydirt thinking I was going to get a nugget, so. Why did... That's so weird. YouTube blocked 32 plus 25. What is that, some hidden code, YouTube? Is that about to open up the Matrix? We were about to see the robots behind the curtain. I believe Golden has the nugget back. Well, no. So, see, I did the math a while back. I went through, I was going to shoot a video about it, but I kind of just didn't do the video about it. I might do it one day in the future. Actually, I need to write a note. Here, let me write a note and shoot the video. But I did the math one day. I went through all of Golden Paydyrts, and when you go to his Paydirt, he does have a disclaimer. So, like, if you go to his, like, Jurassic Park bag, where he says, you might find an old ancient 2-ounce nugget. At the very bottom, he says there's a 1 in 10,000 chance, which would mean he would have to make 10,000 bags. And he has something like 20 of those. So if you have 20 different products that all have 10,000 bags, kind of like, no, there's really no chance. There's no way he's got a factory somewhere or a warehouse with 250,000 bags of Paydirt that are each a pound each. No, there's no way he makes those bags. You know, he just says it. And then what happens is, like, if you look, he'll have one, like, say, the Jurassic Nugget. He'll say, oh, there's the Jurassic Nugget bag. It'll eventually disappear. And you know he didn't sell 10,000 of them. So he sells like 1,000 of them, and then sales slow down. He just takes it off, you know. Yeah, well, so Brian, that seller that It's Been or something like that, it's something. I've been watching him, but a lot of times what happens is, so like say let's say you buy Paydirt and you get it all, and one day you decide you don't want to buy Paydirt anymore. You can either sell all your gold to me, and I'm going to pay you 85% of all your gold. You can sell it to Clash. Clash will pay you 72% of your value of your gold, or you can sell it on eBay for 100%. You know, and a lot of sellers that do that. There used to be a seller, B Greeny used to sell on there. And there was somebody else that used to sell on there too, where they sold like 120% ROIs, 130% ROIs, just because they wanted to sell Paydirt. They just wanted, you know, they didn't want to just sell a big lump of gold to me. They would rather just sell some Paydirt and have somebody find like really high ROIs, you know. And then that's just how they get rid of their gold. So he might not be back, because that's what the old, I want to say it was B Greeny. That's what he did. I think he sold something like 30 bags of Paydirt. Then he disappeared for like 3 months, and he came back, sold like 5 bags, and he just never sold anymore, you know. What's up, HD? Thanks for joining the show. Appreciate it. Since you're here, you want to drop one of the hidden links? And make sure everyone, when one of the mods drop the hidden link, you go leave a comment. We're going to be picking one name tonight. As always, YouTube and its affiliates have nothing to do with this. It's 100% by me, just to give back to people in the community who support me by watching these live shows. Someone has to buy all. No, it's a racket. So go to the hidden link, leave a comment, and at the end of the night, I will pull one name, and then you will get a spin on the wheel where you can win one of 50 prizes. The biggest prize tonight being a half-ounce custom Cajun bullion round, or hexagon, half-ounce silver. So was that like $25? Plus, if it's custom, you're probably looking at a $30 piece of gold just for watching my ugly mug. And most of it's me panning. You don't even have to really look at me. So yeah, Irwin's hasn't had Paydirt in a while. He's been sold. I think he's officially closed now. Irwin's had some good Paydirt. Yeah, he was pretty good. I think he might have had a falling out, because Irwin's originally was getting his gold from Nuggets by Grant. So when Irwin's first opened, he didn't have his own website. He only sold it on the Nuggets by Grant website. So I think they had some kind of deal where he had to like buy all his gold from Nuggets by Grant, you know. And then he opened his own website, and he probably bought a couple, you know, ounces from somebody else, and there was a falling out or something. I don't know. But yeah, he hasn't had Paydirt in a long time now. My favorite, yeah. If you live by a creek, yeah. Yeah, somebody was sending me pictures yesterday. They were in California, dry washing, and they were showing me the gram of gold they got that day. And they're like, oh, you should come hang out. And I'm like, yeah, if I lived near California, I would be more than happy to come hang out, you know? But unfortunately, I live in Indiana, and it's just me and Rain Man and Brian, and I could work all week and I wouldn't find a gram of gold. There's just not enough gold here to make it profitable here yet, you know? You have 16 bags? No, Irwin's Paydirt? Email me. Here, hold on. Let me post my email, because I want to buy one from you to put on my shelf. If you'd sell one. Yeah, email me, Dylan at Miller Prospecting, or I'll trade you a bag of Miller Prospecting Paydirt for it. But yeah, if anyone has a 1 gram bag of Irwin's Paydirt, let me know. I will trade you. TM, what's up, brother? But yeah, I'd like to get a bag of Irwin's Paydirt to put on my shelf because I like, advertising old companies. But yeah, I wish I lived closer to gold too, because there's no gold near me. I mean, I still have to drive 3.5 hours if I wanted to pan. So that's why it's not cost effective for me. If I drive 3 hours by Indy to look for gold, I'll be out there, all day, then drive back and I might find 2 flakes. That's just, it's still not worth it. I need gold to be about $20,000 before it becomes profitable. All right. Yeah. Email me. I mean, I'll trade you something if you want, or, Yeah. So this bag definitely has more than a quarter gram in it, I think. I've been finding gold in every pan, so. If I had a decent dredge. Yeah. Do you check your tailings? So, for my tailings, this is a Tuesday live show. I do not check my tailings on Tuesday shows. I dump it in a bucket, and that's so all this will just get dumped straight into a bucket to dry out. And then I use that for all my Paydirt I send to my Patreon members. So that way, if I was to drop a little picker in here, it'll eventually end its way into one of my Patreon bags. I do put specific Paydirt, so like if I sell Paydirt or do anything, I use my Tuesday tailings. That's why, so the Paydirts I send to my Patreon members, this is what it looks like. It's just Tuesday tailings. So it's just all the dirt here. So I don't go through my tailings from my Tuesday shows. I do go through my tailings when I do a review. If I do a review, I go through my tailings 3 times. So what you see in the video, like if you're watching a review, I only pan it out once. As soon as I cut filming, I repan it a second time, then I repan it a third time. And if I find any gold on the third time, then I repan it a fourth time. And if I find gold on the fourth panning, then I repan it again. So usually I've never had, I think only once I've ever had to go to a 5th panning. And that was something that's like super hard Paydirt. Oh no, golden is not. Anderson coin is good. Golden Paydirt will not be. Joshua, thank you for joining the show, by the way. Thank you very much. TM. Yeah, I did have, I don't know what happened to my videos. I don't know if I have the videos still on YouTube, because I had a couple videos. I think they got deleted at some point off my YouTube. But I had some other ones, some footage, and I cannot find the footage. I was looking for it the other day because I was moving stuff into new folders and putting stuff on a hard drive. And I was trying to check stuff, so. Yeah, I'm decent at panning. I'm not the best, so, And I tell people all the time, I'm really bad. I will tell people, like, I'm pretty good panner. I know what I'm doing. And I don't miss much, but if I do miss something, the vast majority of the time, it's either like minus 100 gold where anyone would miss it, or it's plus 10 gold. I have a big problem with plus 10 gold. I don't know what it is. And it was only, it doesn't happen anymore. It used to happen when I used to classify. When I used to classify all my Paydirts down for the videos, I would have like a pan full of plus 10 material. If there was a nugget in there, there was odds are I was going to miss it. Because just when I was on plus 10, I just kind of like go real heavy just to move the material, and the gold would fly out and I wasn't be paying attention. So, but now I don't classify the dirt down anymore because I actually enjoy panning it like this. Now I just classify the gold down by the end of the video, which is the only reason I ever did it in the first place, was just so people could see. I'll have to send you some Cripple Creek ores. Oh, yeah, I'll take those. Isn't there's a Paydirt seller that used to sell Cripple Creek Paydirt. I know there was a seller. I mean, I don't think it was a seller with a website. I think it was a gold show. Someone used to sell Cripple Creek Paydirt at one of the gold shows. Because I know I've seen them. Because that's a very unique name, Well, I appreciate that. I mean, I've only been doing it like, 11 years now? Something like that. I will say I'm better panner considering. I think the thing that makes me has me pan better is because I also have to watch chat. So you learn how to like feel a lot better. It's kind of like, if you're blind, they always say your other senses are better. Since a lot of time I'm panning blind, so I've learned how to pan some. I think it's a website because I have some somewhere. Yeah, I know I've seen Cripple Creek. I know I've seen the name somewhere, but I don't think it's the only. I know there's another company that used to sell Creek Paydirt. It was called something Creek, um, First Creek or something like that, or I don't know. But I even think I panned out a Cripple Creek. I think because I know somebody every once in a while somebody will send me Paydirt and be like, "Oh, I found this at the gold show," and they'll send me some. And watch the Anderson coin you had. That's why I bought it. Yeah, Anderson coin is great. I mean, he's still putting out good bags. He's a lot more sporadic now. He's not getting it as often. You got to be kind of quick to get his 1 gram bags now. But he's still good. Golden, it doesn't matter. I got an email from someone the other day. They bought what did they buy? 90 pounds of Paydirt from Golden Paydirt. They spent, I think it was like $900 or something crazy like that. It was $700. $700 for like 100 pounds, and he got 1 gram of gold. You know, it's just crazy. Lindsay, thank you for joining the show. I appreciate it. And I appreciate all the new people in chat today. I appreciate y'all and coming and watching the show and hanging out. I appreciate everyone who's here tonight. If one of my mods wants to drop the hidden link, make sure Nightbot will show up with a little link. If you click it, it'll take you to another video. It's a hidden video. It's not a published video. It's just a hidden video. And if you go there and leave a comment, at the end of the night, I will pull one comment out of there, and you will get a chance to spin the Wheel of Treasures and win a prize. And I will ship you that prize. It can be anything from a copper round all the way up to a half-ounce custom silver round. So there you go. There's Good Nightbot. Win a chance to spin the wheel and win one of 50 prizes. So there's 50 prizes on the wheel, and you can win one of them. I'll check the website. Yeah, I wish I was at. I could keep track of them. I used to keep really good track of everything, but then as my channel kind of grew and I started going through more and more Paydirts, I just would always lose stuff, and it was like, okay, I have the video, but I need to look at something. But then the problem is if I didn't make a video about something, then I can't do anything. Did J&J? He wasn't very good. I've reviewed J&J. I've reviewed J&J, I think, twice. He was like a decent eBay seller. I wouldn't say he wasn't a ripoff, but he was a decent, but there were just so much better than him. I think he was giving like 50% ROIs, 60% sometimes. So he wasn't the worst Paydirt seller you could get. But I thought I saw him not too long ago on there. He might just be out of stock because I was posted it today on my daily ROI on Patreon. The problem is so let's say you're a Paydirt seller, and let's say I have an ounce of gold, and this was an ounce of gold 6 months ago, and I put up 30 bags of Paydirt for sale, and they all sell by today. The problem is when I bought that Paydirt when it was $100 a gram, and I made 30 bags, and I sold each one for $150. I don't have the money now to buy a new ounce because gold is going up faster than Paydirt sellers can sell it. So, a lot of sellers are going out of stock and they're not going to be back in stock because they cannot afford to buy gold anymore. It's one of the problems, is gold is going up faster than you can sell Paydirt and make a profit off of it, That's why if I was a small seller, I would not sell 1 gram bags of Paydirt. You're just losing money. You can't have a good enough profit off of it. And by the time you sell it, like if you bought a 1 gram of gold today. It costs you 133 bucks. You put a bag of Paydirt up for 150. If it sells a week from now, you think, oh, I made 17 bucks profit. No, you didn't, because now gold's going to be 150 bucks. So then you're going to have to buy $150 of the gold. You didn't make a profit. You're going to put it up for sale for 175, hoping you can make 25 bucks profit. By the time it sells, gold is up 25 more bucks. So the only way to be profitable right now is to have a lower ROI with small bags of Paydirt. You know, selling quarter-gram bags of Paydirt, you know, you just have to think of ways to be economical, you know, like the cheapest way to ship, and, you know, put a book in there and say it's medium ale. I mean, that was the only thing I was thinking of the other day. I was like, man, there's got to be a way to ship cheap Paydirt. And the only thing I could think of is if you put a book in it, you know, if you put Paydirt inside of a book and said it was medium ale. But if they ever busted you, you'd have to pay a fine, because, you know, you technically can't have anything but books in medium ale. Yeah. But I mean, I know you could sell, like, oh, if you went and bought, like, what are they, old cassette tapes? Like, if you got the old cases and you glued it up and just made those into bags of Paydirt. Hey, Mike, how's it going? Thanks for joining the show. Appreciate it. I did not realize you put out a new gold vlog. I was like, had to go look today. So as soon as this show's over, I'm going to be watching the new gold vlog. I am so excited to see it and see the swimming pool full of gold. Mm. 50 chain link crusher. Oh, those things always scare me when I see people operating chain link crushers. I still think I have my rock crusher around here somewhere. I think it's in my I think I use it to weigh down my buckets when I'm running my sluices. So, Mike, what do you think about the Clash? Have you seen it yet, Mike? Clash is selling a $50,000 bucket with an 80% ROI. You mentioned the pool, yeah. Because it's funny, because somebody said that to me the other day. We were talking, and they said, oh, yeah, Mike's new video. And I just, for whatever reason, I thought it was Vendetta. And I just didn't even think about it. And then today, I was telling everybody in chat about, you know, your new bags of Paydirt. And I was like, did Mike put a video? I'm like, maybe it was that Mike. And I looked and I saw the thumbnail with the gold pool. And I was like, oh, like, I definitely have to watch this now. I'm like, oh, if I didn't like my live show so much, I would have made y'all wait while I watched it. But I will watch it as soon as the show's over. Yeah, we're just going to dump it all in there. There we go. Clash did a Cripple Creek Gold Hill Mesa Paydirt video. I don't know if I remember that one. I don't watch too many of Clash's videos. I only watch the ones if he's like usually what I'll do is I'll hover over it till it tells me what the video is about. And unless it seems like it's something exciting, I won't watch it. You know, like I saw his last review was from like a Paydirt he had been sitting on a shelf for like 5 years. I'm like, you can't review something that's been sitting on a shelf for 4 years. You know, for all you know, that seller had, you know, an epiphany and decided to start selling great Paydirt, or he started ripping people off. I mean, that's like reviewing lynch mining now. I've got 2 jars of lynch mining Paydirt on my shelf. I know what I paid for them. I know what their spot price was when they were bought. I could easily just take that and do a review, and people will be looking for lynch mining to buy it, even though he's scamming. You know, it's just crazy. It's a awesome video if you want to be ripped off of $10,000. That's ridiculous. It's $50,000 and you're only getting $40,000 worth of gold. If you missed it earlier in the video, I did the math. For $49,000 and $200, so you spent $800 less, you could go to Mike over at Gold Nugget Sales. You could buy 12 of his 33.3 gram buckets. And in the end, you would end up with $53,000 worth of gold. So you can buy a $50,000 bucket from Clash and get $40,000 worth of gold. Or you could buy $50,000 12 buckets. You could get 12 buckets for 50 grand from Mike at Gold Nugget Sales ended up with $53,000 worth of gold. So, or 11,000. So that's even worse. You lose $11,000. It would be fun. No, it would be fun. So, I mean, how can you say you're going to have fun if there's two options? If you have one option where you're going to make $3,000 and you have one option where you're going to lose $11,000, they're both dirt. They're both got gold in them. They're the exact same experience, except for one, you lose $11,000. You know, me and your idea of fun are totally different. Yeah. What I think is funny, though, I will say this about buckets and stuff like that. I remember when I first started this channel, the pinnacle was always for me to do a bucket. Like, I'm going to buy a 1 ounce bucket of Paydirt. And I remember I was always told everyone, there's no way I can afford a bucket of Paydirt. I just can't afford it. Back in the day, you know, a bucket used to be like $1,100, $1,200, you know, and I couldn't get a bucket of Paydirt for $1,200. I was like, oh, I can't afford a $1,200 bucket of Paydirt. And the first bucket I ever did was from Lynch Mining, and it was somebody sent it to me. I reviewed it, then I sent them back the entire bucket with all the gold in it. No, he won't, TM. I will tell you about the domain name for Lynch Mining in a moment. So, you know, and then now I'm like, I still want to do a 1 ounce bucket, but now it's like $4,000. I can't afford $4,000 now. So, but no, Lynch Mining. So Lynch Mining's domain name, he has two domain names. It's Lynch Mining and Paydirt Shop. So when you go to lynchmining.com and you click the buy now button, it actually goes to a new website called Paydirt Shop. I don't know why he did it like that, but that's how he did it. Lynchmining.com expired last year. And I went to domains.com, GoDaddy.com every single day to try to snag it, because once a domain expires, they have 30 days to renew it. If they don't renew it, it goes up on the open market. And I went every day and clicked the buy button, trying to buy it because I wanted to buy lynchmining.com. And Lynch renewed it for another 5 years. So Lynch renewed his own domain for another 5 years. Paydirt Shop just went up in, what was it, January, February, March, April, I think June. So Paydirt Shop expired in June. I did the same thing. I tried to buy that domain, and he renewed that one as well. So if he wanted to sell it, it's got no value with its name. You know, it's a company that ripped off a ton of people. So he's just keeping the name. So, but who would buy a $50,000 bucket of Paydirt? I'm sure there's somebody out there that would buy one. You know, I would buy one if I had $50,000. I would just. No, it's not really, because if you think, I mean, for him it is his 1 gram bag. But if you think about it, his 1 gram bag costs what, $200 or something like that, and it's a 70% ROI. So I mean, is it really worth spending an extra $49,000 to get a 10% higher ROI? Why did I want to buy it? To keep someone else from buying it. So I was just going to have, so like if you search for a lot of terms like Paydirt and this and that, Lynch Mining's website still shows up. So if I bought it, I was just going to redirect it to my site, millerprospecting.com. So that way anyone that was searching for Paydirt and they saw the Lynch and they clicked the link would just go to my website, and then they would see the top sellers to buy and stuff like that. And I don't advertise on my site. I don't have pop-ups or any of those things. It was just, you know, keep some bad people from buying it that might try to use his name, because it has happened before. They had an original seller once that they bought the domain Lynch Minings with an S at the end, and they made their website look exactly like Lynch Mining, and they were just stealing people's money. So, you know, if Lynch Mining's website ever came up for sale, it'd probably be someone with nefarious, you know, ideas. They would want to just, you know, sell bad Paydirt and know that people would think that it was Lynch again. So, but it's ranked really high on Google still, and it'd just be a free way to get people to come to my website. You know, I could always use more traffic, you know, get people to come join my YouTube, gets more people to know who the top sellers are. Because I mean, just from today's chat, you can see that the most people that say they bought Paydirt, they always buy a bad bag first. You know, they buy the golden Paydirt, they buy something, they buy Clash. The more people that find my website find the top sellers first. You know, I mean, my first bags were all bad bags of Paydirt, and you know, you got to think. So, like, you know, if how many people see a bag of Paydirt, like golden Paydirt, they see them advertise and think, oh man, this is so awesome. They go and spend $400 or $500 on it. They tell their wife, they tell their kids, look at all this, we're gonna pan this out, we just spent $500 on this and pans. Then they pan it out and get like $40 of the gold. They're gonna say this is a stupid hobby. The wife is gonna slap them, say, you know, you're lucky I don't divorce you, this is a horrible hobby, why are you doing this? Let's go play golf, let's go do this, let's go buy a jet ski or something like that, and they just stop the hobby. Whereas if their first bags of Paydirt, if they said, let's go buy 5 bags of Paydirt from Gold Nugget Sales, the wife's going to be like, man, you just made, look at that. You just got $450 worth of gold. This is a great hobby. The kids love it. I'm not going to divorce you. In fact, I want to get remarried again, you know. I don't know. I've been rethinking, you know, I talked to Whatchamadinky about it, and I told him I was going to, you know, it would probably be a while, but I'm kind of now, when gold hit 4,000, I was like, should probably sell some stuff on there. But now I'm kind of thinking at its current rate, at $50 a day, in 19 days, it'll be at $5,000. So I might wait till it hits $5,000. I do have some choice nuggets I'd like to sell, but you get a ton of calls. Yeah. Usually probably, I doubt they're very good calls either. Stephen Curry, I don't know if I said thanks to you, but thanks for joining the show. TM as well. Moonshine, Brewers Prospecting, thanks for joining the show. I appreciate it. Gold Baron, thank you for joining the show. I appreciate it. When I bought my first bag, I didn't really know what a good bag, the same way. That's why I started my entire YouTube channel, is because I did not know. I know a lot of you have probably heard this story, but when I first started panning, I just panned for the fun of it. I did not know, you know, good bag, bad bag. I was just panning to have fun. And then one day I bought a guarantee, because every bag I had bought when I first started, I probably bought 30 or 40 bags of Paydirt that had no guarantees, from even from good sellers, like not good sellers, but you know, sellers that are still around today, like Dirt Hog. I was buying Paydirt from them and there had no guarantee. So you just thought, okay, I'm getting a good bag of Paydirt. I'm finding gold. And then I bought a 1 gram bag from a seller in Colorado. And when I saw how much gold is in a gram, like, you know, that's a gram. And then I realized that every other bag I was buying just had the very tip of that. I'm like, well, wait, I just spent $60 and got 1 gram. Every other bag I was spending $60 from, I got a 1/10 of a gram. So I started doing a blog and then a YouTube channel. And yeah, you know I'm all about saving those marriages. I'm going to sell an ounce at 4K. I was going to sell an ounce at 4K, but I'm going to wait. Might lose my, yeah. No. I mean, I think they keep saying they're going to do a price correction, but even if they do a price correction, it's not going to adjust it. I mean, they've had several price adjustments before. They average 5 to 15%. So if you say 10%, even right now, that's $400. So if they do a price adjustment tomorrow morning, it's only $400. It'll be right back up $400 in 2 weeks. So I think it's going to hit $5,000 before they do a price adjustment. And I think it's going to hit $5,000 next month. So if even then, it might go up sooner than that. The higher it goes, the more people are buying. The more people that are buying, the less people are selling. Because when gold hit, what was it, like 3,600, around there, I had so many people hitting me up to sell me gold. They were like, oh, we want to sell gold, buy my gold, buy my gold. And I was like, I'm poor, leave me alone. I ain't got no money. Since then, gold is going up so fast, nobody wants to sell. Nobody wants to sell because they know, like, why sell today when it's at 4,100? If they wait till tomorrow, it's going to be at 4,150. If they wait till the next week, it'll be at 4,300, 4,400. So Everyone is playing the hold game right now, which just is going to make gold go up more and more because nobody's selling. Yeah, there's a lot of Joshes in here. I'm waiting for Walmart. You can buy Walmart. You can buy Paydirt on Walmart. There's M&M Prospecting. I think that's who it is that sells. And then the guy, he used to sell on Amazon. There's another Mike that used to sell on Amazon. It's like the silver bags. They're like 5-pound bags. I've only seen him on eBay recently. I haven't really seen him on Amazon too much anymore. But he sells on Amazon, on Walmart. There's like one or two people. I think Sluice Boy Prospecting sells on Walmart too. And hey, I don't know if I said hi to you, Tomcat Josh, but thank you for joining the show. I appreciate it. No, good luck with the play sand. It depends on where it's from. If you got to get the play sand that's from California, not at Walmart, just online. Walmart online. It's just the Walmart online. It's just their third party sellers on Walmart.com. But yeah, not in their stores. I mean, they did sell Gold Rush. Gold Rush used to sell in Walmart. Which, by the way, I've been looking for some Gold Rush Paydirt. I don't have. I've been trying to find one of their more expensive bags. If anyone knows or sees any of the old, particularly they used to have. I think it was a 5-pound bag that was a Parker's something, and it used to come in a wooden box, and it was like $200. If anyone ever sees or hears that Paydirt, sees it on eBay, or any of the old 5-pound Gold Rush bags, I'm looking for one of those to put on my shelf. Yeah, Panda's looking much nicer than I thought it would. So huge shout out to Mike over at Vendetta Prospecting, who just got Paydirt in stock. He has 1 grams, he's got 1.5 grams, and he's got 5 grams up for sale. All of them over 90% ROI. So, so shout out to Mike, because this was a donated bag to the channel, which means this is going in my pocket. My pocketbook is going in my purse. Not really. It's going in my vial for my Patreon members, but just means my Patreon members, I got like what, 20 Patreon members, so they each get like 1 extra flake of gold in next month's Paydirt. Go buy a Saccrete play sand, yeah. Just anything, if you can find play sand or aquarium sand from either California or Australia, they will have gold in it. Might not be much, but it'll have gold in it. And then you gotta get lucky. You might get 2 pieces in one bag or 3 pieces in the next, or you might get 1 in some. But there we go. That's easily a gram. That's definitely a gram of gold. Unless I missed some and it went in the Tuesday tailings. But a nice little bag. Sweet bag. Is better than the Nun bag. So if everyone doesn't know, originally last year, Mike from Vendetta Prospecting sent me 2 bags. One was called the Nun bag and one was the Sum bag. The Nun bag, he didn't put any gold in. I panned it out during the live show and I found no gold. And this is a Sum bag that I've been waiting to pan out, and I found it. And found some gold this time. Yeah. So it's not bad. I won't complain about free bag of Paydirt with some gold in it. But now I'm going to make y'all look at my ugly mug. We're going to spin a wheel, have some fun. I'm going to give away some stuff. So let's see what we can give away. All right, we're back. Adjust the microphone. Make y'all look at the ugly mug. I'm going to shrink down the panning cam. There we go. Keep the gold on there. So there we go. Leave that up there. Again, thank you, Mike from Vendetta Sales, Vendetta Prospecting, for sending me that. There's no gold in Florida. There's gold in Florida. It's just on the beaches, and it looks like coins. They have little pirate symbols on it, or whatever pirate symbols used to be. They're all cobs. That's what they're, gold cobs. Yeah, the only way you're going to find a lot of gold in Florida is on the beaches after a hurricane, you know. Yeah, Mike is back in stock. He was he was on vacation, so he was just unstocked while he was on vacation. So been dealing with work emails. You mean just moving them to the trash, moving them to the trash, moving them to the trash, like I do. Then somebody tells me, "Hey man, I emailed you a week ago." Like, oh man, now I gotta go dig through my trash and see where I did with it. No gold south of NOLA either. Yeah. Yeah, I lived in New Orleans. That's when I first started my channel. I was in New Orleans, and that's the reason I started it. I was a really far drive away from any gold, so yeah, that's something new that they're trying. I don't even pay attention to the top fans or the XP or any of that. I don't have enough subscribers or people watching my live show to make that really worth it. I don't even notice people talking about it on, I was watching somebody else's live show today. It was a gaming channel, because it just popped up on my feed, and so I clicked on it to see. And I mean, he had like 3,000 people watching, and nobody was talking about the XP or was worried about the XP. So Monday, Wednesdays, and Saturdays. Yeah, so Mike has a show tomorrow. I might have to try it. I don't think I have my kids doing anything tomorrow. I mean, I have my kids, but I don't think they're doing anything. I'll have to try and make the show tomorrow. So let me write a note. Gold Sal tomorrow. I know now I kind of wish, I don't know if Mike, if you're still here, but I kind of wish I would have kept in the good graces of Whatnot and got my 2%, my 7% discount if I sell on Whatnot, you know, but I just couldn't get the show, you know, and the amount of volume he wanted that quickly, because he wanted me to start selling, you know, X amount. I mean, you know what the X amount is, I'm sure, every month, starting that month. And I was just like, I didn't, you know, I would have had to sell what I had right that month and start, you know, looking for other stuff. And I was like, well, you know, oh, well, there you go. Well, I'll go hang out with Cammy. I don't mind. Maybe I'll see something I want, you know, so build up my stock for my, Whatnot show. But I will say, I did just sell some gold, Mike, and it was much easier selling it on my Patreon to my Patreon members. I sold out the 12 pieces at spot price in like 2 minutes. So, you know, Whatnot, I don't know if I want to take that gamble, because the only pieces of gold I have to sell now are all bigger pieces, over 1 gram, Harbor Mine stuff, and you know, Round Mountain stuff like that. If I sold that stuff, I don't know if I'd want to take the risk on Whatnot. You know, you get one bad sale, I'm just ending stream right then. So you can turn off. Oh, wow. I'm gonna have to look for that. Turn off XP. That's good, because I don't like the XP. I don't like, the whole point behind the XP is to get people to donate, you know, to be number one. And I'm not a big fan of that. You know, if somebody wants to donate to my channel, I will take it. I will not complain about it. I will appreciate anyone donating to the channel, but I wouldn't want people donating just to be a number one fan and stuff like that. You know, to be, I don't know, just not a huge fan of trying to convince people stuff like that. So just ask Smitty how the 1 gram husk can go. Oh yeah. I've seen, I know some people, I know somebody who bought like a 2 gram nugget off of Mike's show, and then they put it on their show, and they paid over $200 for it on the Mike show, and it sold for $80 on their show. So, I mean, he lost $140 overnight. You know, I don't know why he would do that, but you know, and yeah, you can donate to the wheel. I'm always trying to find new prizes for the wheel. So like, if you see this treasure chest here, this is the treasure chest that has the 50 prizes for the wheel. Then I have a treasure chest over here. This is all my backup prizes. So I stick prizes in there. When something sells out of this chest, I grab something out of this chest and throw it in there. So yeah, but if you want to donate to the wheel, I'll put it in there. Thank you, Jeff. I appreciate that. Thank you very much. More Whatnot is more work for sure. Yeah, I mean, like I just if I sold something, it would be one more time just to, I got debt I'm in, and I would like to be out of debt. And if I got out of debt, the only way to get out of debt would be to sell off some gold that I have. To get out of debt, then I can start buying gold again, but not putting myself in debt by buying it. But I just don't know about the Whatnot thing. It's just, I like Whatnot, and it was fun. It was really fun doing, but it's just too big of a risk. Like I said, if I sell one piece and it doesn't go well, then I'm just going to end stream and have to then go to plan B, which would be private sales. So, and I could do the private sales. I own my own website. I could put, all the gold up on a website and say, email me, here's the price, email me and I'll sell it to you. So I just got my Gibby from Smitty. Yeah, I like Smitty's channel. There's a couple of channels on there I like. And I will say, Mike, Gold Vlog Mike, the one problem I do have with Whatnot is there's a lot of scammers. There are a ton of scammers on Whatnot. Not in the gold part yet. But what was it, last week? One of the top sellers on Whatnot that sells shoes just got busted. He had been selling, so he was selling limited edition Jordans on Whatnot, and he kept getting reported because they were never released. The reason that they were never released was because a trainload of them had been stolen. And so the only person that could possibly be selling them on Whatnot had to have stolen them. And he had been selling them on Whatnot for over a year before he finally got arrested. And he had been reported over 100 times to Whatnot about it. I was watching a video yesterday. They have a lot of people that do Pokemon breaks, and they were showing all the people that are ripping people off on Pokemon cards where they're opening the packs beforehand, taking out the good cards, putting in dud cards, and then selling the packs so they can open on live show on Whatnot. So, I like Whatnot for the gold thing, but, it does always worry me about stuff like that, So, if I had massive amounts, if I had a swimming pool worth of gold, if I had a swimming pool full of gold, I would definitely be on Whatnot every night. But I don't know. I have people in CC that will buy your nugs. Yeah. So if I have to, I'm trying to, like I said, I had these nugs. I have them all priced out. I knew which ones I was going to sell, because it would get me out of debt. It would break me even. When I had to have my implant done and my last surgery on my knee kind of put me in debt, and I've never gotten out of it. So, and I had said, when it hits 4,000, I will sell them all. But gold has jumped up way past 4,000 really, really quickly in 3 days. So I might wait until $5,000 or 4,500. So I'm going to wait till the end of the month and we'll see. I'd like to be out of debt by next year. So, you can get crushed and Whatnot if you're not careful. Got to read the room and make sure they're buyers. Yeah. Yeah. The only reason I knew I did good last time was just because, one, it was a lead in from you. 90% of the buyers were my Patreon members. And, if I have to bring in Patreon members to Whatnot to buy my stuff, or my YouTube subscribers, I could sell it on Patreon. I could sell it on my website. It's kind of, you just got to hope, like I know you do. And I know I've seen it on your show where you get the random person that's like, oh, I like gold. And wow, this guy's selling gold on a live show, and I'm going to spend $5,000 on this giant nugget, Every sale and Whatnot. Yeah, I do know they have that. There's a couple. Yeah, like I said, and it's with any platform. When eBay first opened, and even to this day, there's still scammers on eBay. There's, luckily, like the gold community and the nuggets, it's really small on Whatnot. 2 or 3 years from now, it might be a drastically different. You're going to have a lot of people selling, look at this nugget, and they won't tell you the weight, and it'll be magnified 1,000 times. You can get this nugget starting price only $1, and you're like, oh wow, I'm gonna steal it for $1 plus $5 shipping. You get that little bitty microscopic piece of gold, and it was weighed, the 10 cents worth of gold. So, Sammy Hagar is yeah, I saw that. That was Sammy Hagar and what's the guy with the blonde hair that used to cook or whatever, Guy Fieri. Yeah, he's a partner in that too. I saw that. Too many pop-up nugget sellers. Yeah, that's what that's why I didn't want to be on Whatnot really, was because I didn't want to just like pop on once, sell something, and then be gone. And I did it that one time just for fun, to get that extra $100, which I don't even know if that was worth it. But it was a fun experience, that's for sure. I'd much rather buy. So I think I'll just sell my gold nuggets once gold hits around 5K, and then I'll go back to buying, but use cash instead of credit cards. mm. But all right, let me go make sure everything is set up. We're going to get rid of the nugget cam or the gold. Thank you again, Mike, from Vendetta Sales, for that. I really do appreciate that, sending me that bag. It was an awesome bag. Much better than the none bag, that's for sure. But all right, we're going to let me shrink down everything, make sure the window cam is working. Yeah. Now I can close the Gold Nugget sales page. We get the link for the hidden video. There we go. We're going to shrink down my ugly mug. We're going to do this giveaway. I think I may do a show a month. Seems manageable to me. Yeah, that's not too bad. Yeah, like, I don't want to buy and sell gold. And, I have my little bitty pile of gold. And once it's gone, I will start another little pile. So I might do a show on Whatnot like once every year. I already done mine this year. All right, let's shrink down the ugly mug. Pull a name. Now again, here, I will actually, let's do this. We'll give it 5 minutes. I will post the hidden link. Yeah, I think Mike is such a better seller on Whatnot than me. So I would rather just go to Mike's and buy some of his gold. So, which I will say, probably a quarter of my collection of gold is from Mike, not from Whatnot. A lot of it's from his website, things like that. So, an update video on food bank raffle this week. Yeah, so if you don't know, go over to bradsbucket.com, BUKIT, bradsbucket.com. He is doing a raffle, $2 an entry. I don't know what the prizes are. I think 1 gram bag, half gram bag, things like that. But you can go to the website and it'll tell you. $2 a spot. Go over there, check it out. But until then, Nightbot just dropped a hidden link. If you go to that video, you can see that video and you can leave a comment on that video, and then I will pull a comment and you'll win one of 50 prizes. And I'll show you all the prizes in a minute and we'll do it. So I'm giving this a minute. I was born to be rich. I just don't know what went wrong. Yeah, I know what went wrong with me. I started drinking. That ended any shot of me being rich right there. So I watch everything in my 43-inch and always guess high. Yeah. No worries, PA. You can enter, brother. As long as you enter and you're here at the end of the show, I'm happy. That's why we have the rule. So if you do win, by the way, if I do pull your name, you must be in the live chat. So if I pull your name, you have 5-6 minutes to post in the live chat that you're here, and then I will pull your prize. If you're not here, you don't get the prize. I don't pull it off the wheel, and you just don't get anything. So 75% is from Mike, a little from Sluice Boy. I haven't bought anything from anyone. I bought some coins off of Whatnot. They were just cheap coins that are in the treasure chest right now. And I tried to buy some silver. There's a seller on Whatnot that makes really cool silver figurines and stuff. And I tried to buy some for my kids for their collection. But they were going way too high in price. I'm not paying $200 for 1 ounce of silver. I don't care what kind of figurine or whatnot it is. But I think everything else, gold. I did buy from one other show. If somebody else was doing a show and I went there and bought something from them just to support their show. But yeah, Mike is the only person I visit on Whatnot, really. Not sure how to enter. Scroll up and you'll see Nightbot. It says win a chance to spin the wheel and win one of 50 prizes. Here, I will even see if that works. Yeah. See, I just posted it. Look at my last comment. Win a chance. There's a little link. You just click that link. Yeah, you just hit the link I just posted, and it'll open up another video, and it'll say hidden video, and you just leave a comment there. So while you're doing that, I'm gonna go check and make sure all the comments are going through, because sometimes they don't all go through. Then we'll do the giveaway. Yep, everything has gone through. So we'll give it 4 minutes. So we'll just look at my pretty mug for 4 minutes, then we'll do the drawing, make sure everyone is in there. And again, while we're doing that, well, here, we'll go and, yeah, it goes to a video. That's what you're supposed to do. Just leave a comment. Just leave a comment on that video. Yeah, you leave a comment on that video. It's the only way to, like, do a giveaway drawing on YouTube, really, without everyone spamming some number randomly. Want to buy a coin from a shipwreck? Yeah, the prices on those, I've always wanted like an NGC, like gold cob from one of the shipwrecks. But, you get a little 3 or 4 gram cob. It's, $1,500. And I don't want to pay, I could get a beautiful nugget from Mike, from a Harvard mine or somewhere, some bark gold from Australia or something like that before I pay, a $500 premium on, pirate gold. And if it's not NGC'd or something, I just wouldn't trust it. So, all right, let's go. We're going to shrink down the ugly mug. Crash, what's going? All right, we're going to shrink down the ugly mug. Whoa, I got to move this to my website. And there we go. Let's shrink down the ugly mug. There we go. To the best website on the internet. It's even better than any of these Paydirt sellers. MillerProspecting.com. Top 10 recommended sellers. Gold Nugget sales #1. Vendetta Prospecting #2. We just panned them out today. Gold Nugget Man. Bear Prospecting. Gold Baron Paydirt. Brian Thomas Gold. Gold Bay. Carolina Prospectors. Flash in the Pan Paydirt. And Brad's Bucket. And probably half of these sellers are out of stock or going out of stock. It's just crazy. All sellers are pretty much going out of stock, except for Gold Nugget sales and Vendetta Prospecting. They're both fully stocked. So, Gold Nugget Man, I think he has 1 left. Bear Prospecting is out of his 2 and 1. Gold Baron is in stock. Brian Thomas Gold is totally out of stock. Carolina Prospectors is totally out of stock. Flash in the Pan is totally out of stock. Brad Buckets, about half of it's in stock. So, yeah. Sellers are having a harder time to restock. Let's go through the prizes, then we'll pull the name. So these are the 50 prizes you have a chance to win. Half-ounce silver Cajun bullion hexagon, quarter-ounce silver round, 5 gram silver, dinosaur silver bar. I have a random year silver quarter, 2 of those up. What is it? 3 random silver dimes. A Mexican peso. There's 2 of those up in the auction, 10% silver. Some Kazakhstan copper nugget. That's what I bought. I bought this from another Whatnot show. Some gold-coated copper thing I bought off of Mike's show one night when I wasn't paying attention, and I bid on something. I have no idea what it is. It's some weird little copper. It looks like it has gold dust on it, so I'm giving it away. I have 1 Florida halfback left. I have some 2 1855 France 5-cent pieces. They're NGC'd. Some Miller Prospecting signed gold pans, some Miller Prospecting keychain pans, some sticker packs, and then a lot of 1-ounce random copper rounds. So the odds are you're going to win a copper round, but you never know. We're going to shuffle up the prizes. All right, I'm going to go check comments. Now, again, if I pull your name, you must post something in the live chat or you don't get your prize. So, yeah, that's the one thing, like, so I wouldn't be in debt if I didn't buy gold, because I didn't pay, I have an implant in my mouth that's on credit cards, and I have a last surgery I'm in debt too. And instead of paying off my debt, I bought gold nuggets. But gold nuggets went up in price, so, I probably only spent half as much as all my bills were, and I'm going to have it. So, but all right, everyone's in chat. We're going to pull the name. Good luck to everybody. Go to the random comment generator. Which we'll go here, comments or details. I need the code. So we're going to get the code. There's the code. All right. Don't look at anything else. Yeah. There we go. Good luck to everyone. Going to pull one name. And again, you must post something in live chat in the next 5 minutes, and then we'll do the wheel of names. You'll have to email me so I can send you your prize. There's a lot of steps to go through. We got 50 comments, so 1 of 50 people will win 1 of 50 prizes. That's good. This is a good sign. It's going to be something good. Curtis, good luck, shiny. Nice shiny cheddars, brother. new friend. So, Curtis, I need you to post something in the live chat. Once you post something in the live chat, we will spin the wheel. So let's look up. I'm sure my mods will be yelling at me already. He's posted. All right, Chasing Cheddar with Curtis is here. All right, now we're going to go to the wheel. We're going to shuffle it up. We'll make sure on the wheel, on the arrow part, that it'll be like a copper round or something low before we hit the button. All right. Unless, we'll see. If it shows up sticker pack or copper, I think it's supposed to be the opposite. You still got a 1 ounce copper round. So there you go. You got a 1 ounce copper round. We're going to, I don't even need to remove it because here. So congratulations. I tried to make it so you'd win something, but just too many copper rounds on there. I need people to donate more prizes so I could take off so many copper rounds. Which, by the way, were donated as well. So, but Chasing, I just need you to send me your email me, send me your address. Here we're going back to this. All right, let's make y'all look at me full screen. Let me see real quick. Give me 1 second. Why? Yeah, Curtis, I will need you. Here, let me post my email. There you go. Thank you very much, HD. Yeah, just email me. Email me your address, and I will send that out to you tomorrow or the next day. I'm going to say tomorrow, but it might be like tomorrow night, so then it'll actually go out the next day. So, yeah, I was live. I'm going to be live for about another 2 minutes. Scott Roberts, thank you very much. John R. Prospecting, how's it going, brother? Thank you for joining the show. And thank you, everyone, for joining the show. I appreciate it. I will be back next Tuesday. Tuesday will be probably same amount of time. I don't know what I'm going to be panning out next Tuesday. Oh, I do. I'm going to be panning out some Andy K's Paydirt. And I probably will throw in something else because Andy K's next week isn't the biggest bag of Paydirt. It's a little bitty bag of Paydirt. So I have a couple other like little things I might pan out. Like I do have a Vendetta tube. So I might pan that out next week as well. But we are going to be doing some panning next week, finding some more gold. And I do have a video coming out Saturday. If you could guess, it's Andy K. So I will be having a video out of Andy K's Paydirt coming out this Saturday. Next Tuesday, we're going to pan out some Andy K's Paydirt. I'm going to have the Wheel of Treasures up again. It'll have 50 prizes. You'll have a chance of winning something. Next week, I might put a bag of Paydirt up there. I think I will put a bag of Paydirt in there. I think I'll put a Miller Prospecting bag of Paydirt in there for somebody to win as well. So there will be 50 prizes, and somebody's got to win something besides a copper round. But actually, last week, what was it? Somebody won the 5 ounce copper round. Well, that was it. Last week was the 5 ounce copper round. So somebody won the big one. So, but thanks everyone for watching. I really do appreciate everyone who joins me on these live shows, hangs out with me, and puts up with my ugly mug. And those who don't want to look at me and just want to listen, I appreciate y'all as well. But I'm going to get out of here. I'm going to go cook my son some dinner. But Saturday, I do have a video coming out. Actually, I think I have a video coming out Saturday and Sunday. I have that mail call I owe everyone, the Australian mail call. That will be coming out Sunday. So I have a video coming out Saturday, Sunday, and then I have a live show next Tuesday. We're going to be panning out some Paydirt, 2 things of Paydirt. I have some other little bags around too. You always got to pan them out. Something fun. So show should be a little bit longer next week. But thanks, everyone. I'm going to get out of here. I hope everyone has a great week. I hope you find a lot of gold, especially if you're out there prospecting or buying Paydirt. More gold is better. Gold is going up faster. You know, the 80% bag of Paydirt you buy, by the time you finish panning out, is going to be 85% Paydirt. So thanks, everyone. Have a great weekend, and hopefully I will